Hello dear students, Jai Somnath. After completion of various theory as chemisorption and physisorption, and after that application of adsorption, now today we are going to discuss one of the most important theories, that is adsorption isotherm. This adsorption isotherm means when quantity of gas is adsorbed on the surface of adsorbent, that quantity which is shown by curve is known as adsorption isotherm. Again, the quantity of gas adsorbed on a surface of adsorbent, this quantity which is explained by the curve or graph is known as adsorption isotherm. In this adsorption isotherm theory, we are going to discuss our first isotherm is Freundlich isotherm. This scientist Freundlich give the empirical formula for the adsorption of gases on the surface of adsorbate, and this rule is expressed by this equation that x by m is directly proportional to p raised to 1 by n. This statement is written in equation form. This x by m is equal to, if we are going to remove this proportional sign, then our proportionality constant k is there, and k into p raised to 1 upon n, where x is equal to mass of gas, m is equal to mass of adsorbent. You know that P is pressure and K and N both are constants. So this Freundlich said that the quantity of adsorbed gas on the surface of adsorption at a constant pressure and temperature is known as Freundlich isotherm. Now in this step, suppose this is our equation number 1. Now what should we do? This x by m is generally called the quantity of adsorption, and this 1 by n step has a 2 variation. This 1 by n is equal to 0. This is our first possibility. If we are putting 1 by n is equal to 0 over here, then p raised to 0. So in mathematics, rule is p raised to 0 becomes 1. So our equation is x by m varies as p raised to 0. So our final equation becomes x by m is equal to k only. So we can say that this quantity of adsorption is independent of pressure. This is our first possibility. In second possibility, if 1 by n is equal to 1, so we will get x by m varies as p raised to 1. So our equation becomes x by m is equal to k into p. So we can say that there is a p present on right hand side. So our adsorption quantity is directly dependent on pressure. So we can say that dependent of pressure. Okay, so you have to show these two possibilities of 1 by n step. Now taking logarithm of equation number 1. This is our equation number 1. X by m is equal to k into p raised to 1 upon n. So this equation becomes log x by m is equal to log k plus 1 by n log p. Okay, now you have to plot two different graphs. First graph is x by m to p only. Our first graph is x by m, on x axis there is a p. We will get this type of curves in this plotted graph. You have to remember this peak is highest peak of this graph. This is the quantity of adsorption, means the height is maximum, so we can say that the quantity of adsorption is also maximum. So at that time the temperature must be lower on upper side. After that you can show the increased temperatures. So we can say that at the lowest temperature 190 Kelvin the quantity of adsorption is maximum. When we are going to increase the temperature, at that time the quantity of adsorption is decreased. So we can say that decrease in adsorption with increase in temperature. This is our conclusion from first graph. But Freundlich said that when we get the straight line graph, at that time the isotherm is considered as valid isotherms. So in second graph you have to plot log x by m versus log p. That is our second number graph. See in this graph on y axis log x by m and on x axis log p. In this graph we get this type of straight isotherm graph. If we are going to calculate the slope of this graph, then this is our intercept and we will get the value of slope is equal to 1 by n and the value of intercept is log k. Okay, you can also show this graph in this manner also, the straight line, and after that you can extend this line. You will get the intercept over here, which is gives the value of log k, and you can also find the slope in this way. The value of slope is equal to 1 by n. Okay. So this is the most important theory which is asked into 3 marks in your exam. Explain Freundlich isotherms with graph. So you have to write down the statement, then this equation, these two possibilities and these two graphs and the statement. And remember that these both graphs are explained by Freundlich in experimental condition, not in a theoretical condition. Okay. Now we are going to discuss various types of catalysis. Already we seen in previous video that homogeneous catalysis and heterogeneous catalysis. Now our third type is shape selective catalysis. Shape selective catalysis means catalytic reaction that depends upon the pore structure and size of reactant. Pore structure means what is the role of catalyst? When we are adding the molecules of catalyst into our main reactants, at that time catalysts are increase the rate of our reaction. Now what do you mean by pores? One example is zeolite. We are going to discuss in this theory. Zeolite has the honeycomb like structure. Honeycomb like structure means this type of small hexagonal pores are present in zeolite. These pores are very helpful in catalytic processes. When our reactant size is small enough to arrange in this space, at that time this zeolite increase the reaction rate very fastly. Okay. So zeolite contains honeycomb like structures, and zeolite has a three-dimensional structures of silicates, and these silicates complexes are made when aluminium is replaced some silicon molecules from the atom. At that time these aluminosilicate complexes are made. This zeolite is used widely in petrochemical industries. In petrochemical industries, mainly used for the cracking of hydrocarbons, and another use is for isomerism. Isomerism means to find out the isomers in a separate way. That is, one type is enantiomer and the second type is diastereomers. This type of isomerism which can be carried out by the zeolite, and many types of zeolites are there in chemistry, but in this zeolite category one of the most important, that is ZSM5. This zeolite, which is used in petrochemical industry to convert alcohols directly into gasoline. Alcohols are converted into gasoline without any intermediate step. That is a direct process which can be carried out by zeolite honeycomb structure. Okay, so this theory is contains 2 marks: shape selective catalysis. Another important theory is enzyme catalysis. This enzyme catalysis is also known as biochemical catalysis. Why this is known as biochemical catalysis? Because the enzymes are produced by plants and living organisms like animals, and these enzymes are complex of nitrogenous organic compound. And why these enzymes are produced by plants and animals? To increase the lifespan or life standards of animals and plants. So these enzymes are also known as biochemical catalyst, and this process is known as biochemical catalysis. Remember, when we are talking about enzyme, the suffix is attached behind the name as is. The suffix is, and they are actually protein molecules with high molecular mass. There is a wide range of carbon or nitrogenous molecules, and these enzymes are separate from every processes. Any two process contains two different enzyme particles. Our first example is inversion of sugar. Sugar has a different names. Sugar is also known as maltose, sugar is also known as lactose. This all term as a same molecular formula, C12H22O11. Molecular formula are same for sugar, maltose, lactose. Okay, we want to invert sugar into glucose and fructose mixture. So at that time the enzyme is used as invertase. The name of enzyme is invertase, which is used in a specific process of inversion of sugar. And when you are going to convert this sugar with hydrolysis process, we get the mixture of glucose plus fructose. Molecular formulas are same for both glucose and fructose. But what is the difference? The molecular formulas are same, but what is the difference in glucose and fructose? So remember, glucose contains 6-member hexagonal ring and fructose contains pentavalent ring. Okay. Our second example is conversion of glucose. Conversion of glucose into ethyl alcohol, or we can easily say ethanol molecule. At that time the specific enzyme is used as zymase. So C6H12O6, that is our glucose. You can write zymase over here, and we get 2 moles of C2H5OH, and this C2H5OH is known as ethanol, and we get byproduct as 2 moles of carbon dioxide. Okay. Our third example, conversion of starch into maltose. Again molecular formula is same, but we can use the enzymes as diastase. You have to remember this, all the separate names for separate reactions. The molecular formula of starch is written as C6H10O5, outer bracket there is N, and NH2O, hydrolysis of starch, and we get C12H22O11. The molecule is known as maltose. See, these all are known as hydrocarbons. Our sugar, glucose, fructose, maltose, lactose, these all are known as hydrocarbons or carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are sweet in nature. When we are taste them, they are slightly sweet, and this is the identity. Here hydrogen is 22 and oxygen is 11. So we can say that major carbohydrates contains hydrogen and oxygen ratio as 2:1. Okay. And our next example is conversion of maltose into glucose molecule. Maltose into glucose molecule. The enzyme is used as maltase. Okay, the reaction is same again. Another example, decomposition of urea into ammonia and carbon dioxide, and the enzyme is used as urease. Okay, this is the molecular formula of urea, NH2CO NH2, and if we going to hydrolyze this urea by urease enzyme, we will get 2 moles of ammonia and 1 mole of carbon dioxide. Another 2 examples are there. First is in our stomach, pepsin enzyme converts protein into peptides bond. Peptide bonds means CONH bonds are known as peptide bonds. And in our intestine, pancreatic trypsin is converts proteins into amino acids. And when we are forming a curd in our houses, what should we do? there is a small quantity of milk and we are adding some curd into that milk. At that time the process of making curd is driven by lactobacilli enzyme convert milks into curd. Okay, so this theory is known as enzyme catalysis, or you can say biochemical catalysis. This can be asked into 3 marks in your exam. Okay, thank you.